What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr War Games, and today I'm bringing you Aiden's pre-release Bystial Dragon Link profile. So obviously he's missing, I believe, a third Lubellion, but it's just something to give you guys an idea of what a deck will kind of look like and a bit of a structure this early on. Obviously later on will be more updates to this deck if you guys want to see it, and kind of go from there. With all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. So we start off with, at the current moment in time, 2 Bystial Lubellion. Now obviously he would play 3 if he had 3. The reason this card is so good in this particular version of the deck is they can't be normal summoned or set, and it must be special summoned from the hand or graveyard by tributing a level 6 or higher dark dragon monster. Very, very easy to do in this deck because obviously Dragon Link, you're going to be spawning out dragons left, right and centre. You can only special summon the Bystial Lubellion once per turn this way. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to add a Bystial monster from your deck to the hand, except himself. During the main phase, you get to place 1 branded continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your field. You only use each effect once per turn. So obviously the main targets he's going to be using is Blast and Regained. We'll talk about those a little bit later on. So the idea is, when you're playing 2 Lubellion like this, you're technically playing 5 copies of Magna Hut, 4 copies of Druid Worm, and technically 3 copies of Sarnor, but the idea is between it, when you get 3 of the Lubellion, you're going to be maxing out everything you can. Now you can see with the ratios already the kind of reliance you have on each of the cards, and I'll work it backwards. So the Sarnor, you get to target a light or dark monster in either graveyard, and these are all the exact same things. You banish it, and if you do, you special summon the monster from the hand. They are quick effects if your opponent controls a monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you send a Bystial monster or branded spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard except himself. So this is a Foolish Burial, so ideally you're probably going to be using him as just an additional line of a DD Crow and a free 2500 beater. The Druid's one is obviously the second best one, so it obviously has the same quick effect special summon if your opponent controls a monster. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to target a special summon monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. So good, target, not so great, but send in, not destruction is also great. Then you look at the Magnum Art. This is the best one. This is one I highly advise everyone to pick up. So again, target a light or dark in the graveyard, banish it and special summon this card. You can do that as a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. If this card is special summoned, so unlike the rest when they need to be in the graveyard or during the end phase, if this one is just special summoned, you get to activate the effect that during the end phase of this turn, you get to add a dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to the hand, except himself. So literally, in your Dragon Link, if you've opened this up, you just get to go, okay, cool. My opponent activates tier, chain the effect of Magnum Art, banish the tier monster in the graveyard, summon it down, trigger the effect. End phase comes along, whether this is still on the board or not, it doesn't matter. And then you just get to add any dragon monster from your deck to the hand. So that's Tracer, that's Abzerauta, it can be a Noctivision, it can be a Stylish Safer, it can be a Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, White Dragon Wyvern Buster. Like, it's absolutely mental how consistent a card like this can be. Which is why I'm saying, the fact that it's a super rare, even if you want to ignore the Lubellions at Secrets, it's just definitely something you're going to need to get to in order to get where you need to. The final Bystial monster in this version is the Alba Lost. So can't be normal summon a set, must be special summon from the hand by triggering 2 Bystial monsters. While this card's special summon this way is in the monster zone, negate the effects of all face-up, Ritual Fusion, Synchro, XYZ and Link monsters on the field. And if this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you banish all face-down cards in your extra deck face up until your opponent's end phase. So you banish the extra decks, meaning that you know, and you also get to control what your opponent can and cannot summon. Now on to the Rockets. So the Rockets themselves, he's got 2 Tracers because he's just highly searchable right now. Probably maybe play 3. That's kind of the way that he's gone with it. The 1 Recharger, the 1 Synchron, double Abzerauta. I know he wants to play the Spiral Galaxy Dragon as well, but he's waiting for them to turn up. 1 Noctivision, triple Stylish Safer, obviously White Wyvern and Black Collapse. Pretty standard on that Dragon Link matchup there, or lineup, not so much a matchup. Continuing on with the dragons, of course, you've got the Destrudo, the 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and the 1 Chaos Dragon Levianeer. For the hand traps, he's rocking triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring alongside triple Nibiru, triple Gamma and a driver. So you can see that he's going heavy go second. If you want to be going go first, then obviously you can take out the Nibiru's, you can add in the adventure package. All of that stuff is definitely playable for you. But what you've got to keep in mind as well is technically, when you're looking at hand traps, these are the hand traps you're already running. So you're running, what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 hand traps. And that is before you even go down, like if you want to be putting in perms or anything else in. So if you want to swap out the Nibiru's, you can very easily put in perms. And you're playing so much, you could even put in a cross-out designator. Moving on to the spells, of course, triple Chaos Space. Like, again, this card's going to be absolutely crazy in this deck. These are all pretty standard Dragon Link plays. Quick Launch, Dragon's Ravine, Boot Sector, and then the 2 brand new branded cards. So the branded Regained, I think, is really cool. So if a light or dark monster or monsters is banished, except during the damage step, you get to target one of those monsters and place that monster on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw 1 card. You only get to use each effect once per turn. And if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you get to target a Bystial monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can only activate each effect once per turn, but the fact you can start recycling some of your materials and getting draws off the back of them is crazy. Then, of course, branded Beast. So I really like the artwork on this card. Once per turn, during the main phase, if you control a Bystial monster, you tribute 1 dragon monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. During the end phase, you can target 1 branded continuous spell or trap in your graveyard, place it face up on the field. You can only use each effect once per turn, but the fact is, this continuous trap card, that if you're constantly going to be able to tribute or to special summon out your Bystials anyway, this card's going to be like, okay, cool, tribute it, pop a card, get a search in the end phase. Tribute it, pop a card, send 1 monster from the field to the graveyard. Like, it just gives you spot removal on top of spot removal, and then it gives you consistent search factors as well. Moving on to the extra deck, so I'm just going to blitz through this because it is pretty standard. So we've got a Quad Borrel, 2 Hieratic Seals. I think he's still working on this as well, so I wouldn't go too deep in this. Pitsy, Borrelend, Dragoon Unite, Striker Dragon, Triple Burst, Access Code, Unicorn, Dark the Dark Charmer, IP Masquerena, and then for the synchros you've got the Baron de Fleur, the 1 Borrelo Savage Dragon, and then I think you just wanted to put this in here because it looks cool, it fits within the deck kind of. So this is the Wallow, founder of the Drudge Dragons. It requires 2+ level 6 monsters. Monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each card in your opponent's graveyard. Quick effect, you can target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard and detach 1 or 2 materials from this card, then activate the appropriate effect. 1, you return that card to the deck. So again, a nice form of DD Crow to deal with tiered decks. 2, if the target is a monster, you get to special summon it in face up or face down defense position to your field. And if it's not, you get to set it to your field. So you get a free trap, spell or trap technically, or you get to steal one of their monsters. The issue is you can't steal link monsters because they have to go into defense. And that's pretty much it for the deck. This is just for like demo purposes to show you kind of what the Bystials do and where you can kind of get started for if you want to build the deck as a dragon focused version. As absolutely always guys, stay safe and until next time, happy dueling.